The Packers survived the Bucs 14-12, and it was not the quarterback duel that we thought we might see, although I can't say I'm completely shocked because Green Bay's receiving core is about as limited as it gets, and given Tampa Bay's injuries and suspensions, that being, of course, Mike Evans, Tampa Bay's receiving core wasn't all that great either. I mean, Russell Gage was Tom Brady's best receiver. Alan Lazard and Romeo Doubs were Aaron Rodgers' best receivers. So they're not exactly household names. Those a defensive battle throughout. Green Bay scored 2 touchdowns to start the game off. They did not score after 8 minutes and 44 seconds left in the second quarter and still somehow managed to win the game. This goes back to what I said about the Packers coming into the game, and I think moving forward. You guys know I didn't have the Packers as a playoff team this year because of their limitations at wide receiver and otherwise. But when you have a team that can run the football as effectively as Green Bay can, with the running back duo they have in Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, when you have Aaron Rodgers, who doesn't normally turn the football over, although he did have that pick at midfield to Logan Ryan, Aaron's not going to turn the football over in part because he doesn't take a lot of shots down the field. That's always been one of my knocks against Aaron. But control the clock, get out to a lead, run the football, and play great defense. And that's what they did, even without Jair Alexander. Like, this is, if you told me coming into Tampa, Green Bay before the season started, hey, Green Bay's going to lose Jair Alexander in the first half, I'd be like, oh boy, this could be a long day for Green Bay. But again, Mike Evans gone, Chris Godwin gone, Julio Jones gone. I mean, it got so bad they had to sign Cole Beasley to their practice squad and promote him at the last second. So you got Russell Gage and Brashad Perriman both fumbled in the game. Cameron Brake, Kyle Rudolph caught a pass, Cole Beasley. Again, not exactly household names that either quarterback is working with. But for Green Bay's side, this is how they can win. Running the football and play defense. It's not sexy. It's very old school, especially when you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers who's won the last 2 MVPs. But that's their formula to win. They are not going to beat you in shootouts. Okay, because when Green Bay plays Buffalo down the road or when they play the Rams, they are not going to win 34-31. That's not how the Packers are going to have to win football games this year. But it was a good win for Green Bay on the road in Tampa Bay. As for the Buccaneers, let's start with the defensive side of the ball, because that's, to me, obviously the clear positive for Tampa. The Bucs might have the best defense in the NFL, folks. It's phenomenal. I thought even the secondary might be their weakness. No, it's actually one of their strengths. They take the ball away. They took it away against Dallas. They took it away against the Saints numerous times off Jameis Winston, and they got a turnover off the guy who never throws interceptions, Aaron Rodgers. Carlin Davis played a good game. Again, Logan Ryan had the interception. Jamel Dean was good in stopping the run. And then up front, getting to the quarterback, pressure. Levante David, Devin White were everywhere, diagnosing everything. So I'm not concerned at all about Tampa's defense. As a matter of fact, and I've been talking to some buddies of mine about this over the weekend, Tampa's defense might be better than it was in their Super Bowl winning season in 2020. I'm dead serious. Okay, against Dallas, they gave up 3. Against the Saints, they gave up 10. Against the Packers, they gave up 14. The unfortunate thing for them is 14 was unfortunately a little too much in this game, despite, again, holding the Packers scoreless for the last 2.5 quarters. Offensively, though, for Tampa, that's where I really want to get at. So Mike Evans gone, Godwin gone, Julio Jones gone. And then you have, obviously, in the backfield, Leonard Fournette played okay. You look at his numbers yesterday, 12 carries for 35 yards, under 3 yards a clip. He's fine. The Packers defense, Rashawn Gary and company did a good job. Devontae Campbell, who played a good game, sniffing out the run, making sure Fournette didn't, get any big holes to run through, because we know Leonard Fournette is a physical runner. He's a big back. He's got big legs. He's going to drive through you, right? So being able to diagnose and stop the run. Here's the thing, though. And again, Green Bay did exactly what you have to do to beat Tom Brady. Okay? Jam his receivers a little bit and get pressure. We know Tom's the GOAT. Nobody's disputing that. But he is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league under pressure. Especially up the middle. You get pressure up the middle, he's really in trouble. Okay, you look at the game yesterday. Green Bay had, how many sacks Green Bay have? Green Bay, I think, had 3 sacks. I think I'm reading that right. 3 sacks, yeah. But it felt like they had 5. Getting the backfield over and over and over on Tom Brady. And yet, despite that, GOAT did what GOAT does. 87-yard drive into the game, puts Tampa Bay in a position to score. They do. He throws a touchdown pass to Russell Gage. It was a great throw by Tom, fitting it through that tight window. And then the 2-point conversion. They got a simple run play. Fournette's going to just take the handoff out of the shotgun from Brady. Looks like he's going to punch it in easily, maybe even untouched. But Tampa commits, Aaron Rodgers said after the game, he felt like they committed it back-to-back plays. I felt like it was just only the one. But Tampa Bay commits a delay of game, which forces them to have to go from the 7-yard line as opposed to the 2. And Tom throws an incomplete pass to Russell Gage, and that's all she wrote, 14-12. But again, and I'm not going to, because I said after the Saints game, something's up with Tom Brady, something's up with the Bucs offense. I'm not going to be as critical today because they played a great defense with their top 3 receivers down. Like I can't be brutal on Tom or Todd Bowles or anybody, considering what they had and didn't have more specifically offensively. Again, when Russell Gage is your number 1 target, and I like Russell Gage. You guys know I like the signing of him in the offseason. But I don't want him to be my number 1 go-to guy. I don't want to have to rely on Cole Beasley on 3rd and 12 or Cameron Brate to get me into position to score a touchdown, tie the game with this 2-point conversion. And it doesn't get easier for Tampa, by the way. They got a home game next week, Sunday Night Football, but playing a pretty ticked-off Kansas City team after they just lost the Indianapolis Colts yesterday, 20-17. So Kansas City's coming in. They just lost their first game. Kansas City's going to be ready to go. Mind you, it's the Super Bowl rematch from 2 years ago in the stadium where the Super Bowl was played. So Kansas City's going to be ready to go. They're going to want to get revenge. It's probably the last matchup between Mahomes and Brady unless they meet in the Super Bowl. Like, it's tough sledding for Tampa from here on out. I mean, look at the Bucs schedule. Again, I mentioned they have Kansas City next week. They got Atlanta. They'll beat Atlanta. Then they got at Pittsburgh. That's a tough defense. Again, get pressure on Tom. That's the best way to beat him. Okay, then at Carolina. Ravens at home. That's a short week, a Thursday night football game. Did you see Lamar Jackson yesterday? Again, I think that man's going to get his money. Okay, you got the Rams at home. Then you got Seattle at Cleveland. Saints again. We know the Saints give Tampa all kinds of trouble. At the Niners, home against the Bengals, at the Cardinals. Then you finish with the Panthers and Falcons. So some pretty winnable division games in there. Again, they're obviously better than Atlanta and Carolina. But the Saints cause all kinds of matchup problems. We've seen that for years now. You got some great defensive lines in San Francisco and Pittsburgh and Baltimore. You got playmakers at quarterback like Baltimore or Arizona or the LA Rams or the Chiefs. Like, this is not going to be easy sledding for Tampa. But it's going to be interesting to see where they go from there. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube. Be sure to click that big red subscribe button and go check out the other clips and full shows of Carving It Up Live. Have a blessed day.